We've been taught in school that our universe was born with a bang, the Big Bang Theory, which is the basic knowledge for any toddler in school. But is it true that our universe was created as a result of the Big Bang? The best telescope ever built by scientists, the James Webb Space Telescope, captured shocking images that put scientists in a perplexing situation. However, the famous theoretical physicist Michio Kaku has an unsettling explanation for these images from James Webb Space Telescope. Michio Kaku, a renowned theoretical physicist, recently revealed a startling finding uncovered by the James Webb Space Telescope. 6 enormous galaxies, each around the size of the Milky Way, have recently been discovered by NASA's multi-billion-dollar telescope. If confirmed, the findings cast doubt on the Big Bang Theory, which is the foundation of our knowledge of galaxy formation. Is the Big Bang Theory false? Through the years, scientists have believed that this universe came into existence from a Big Bang. Around 13.7 billion years ago, all matter in the universe was compressed into a singularity, a point of infinite density and heat. All of a sudden, the universe began to grow explosively, expanding faster than the speed of light. However, the James Webb Telescope recently discovered the image, which puzzled scientists and raised a question about the formation of galaxies. A cluster of galaxies from the Big Bang that are so enormous they shouldn't exist. According to recent research based on Webb's first data release, these 6 galaxies are so far away that they are only visible to the powerful telescope as small reddish dots. Astronomers discovered that they were witnessing these galaxies only 500 to 700 million years after the Big Bang by examining their light. These galaxies have been labeled universe breakers by the team of researchers that discovered them. That's because, if they are real, the discovery puts into question everything we know about how galaxies formed. Here comes the analysis of Michio Kaku about the images of 5 gigantic galaxies captured by the James Webb Space Telescope, which contradict the Big Bang Theory. He said that all of a sudden, we realized that we may have to rewrite all textbooks about the beginning of the universe. Now, it takes many billions of years to create a galaxy with 100 billion stars that are many billions of years old, but the James Webb Telescope has identified 6 galaxies that exist 500 million years after the Big Bang and are up to 10 times bigger than the Milky Way galaxy. Well, that's the problem. The James Webb Space Telescope is upsetting the apple cart. One of the researchers that contributed to the discovery is Erica Nelson, an assistant professor of astrophysics at the University of Colorado Boulder. She said in a statement, "It is not expected that the early universe will be able to organize itself that quickly. These galaxies theoretically should not have had time to form." According to cosmologists, the formation of galaxies began to take shape gradually in the first few 100 million years after the Big Bang. However, the exact time when the first clusters of stars merged to form the galaxies we see today is still uncertain. According to theories, these early proto-galaxies reached adolescence between 1 and 2 billion years after the formation of the universe, developing into dwarf galaxies that started consuming one another to evolve into ones like our own Milky Way galaxy. Since light moves through space at a constant speed, the further into the universe we look, the more distant light we are able to intercept and the farther into the past we can see. Using the James Webb Space Telescope, astronomers found that massive galaxies formed shortly after the Big Bang when the universe was only 3% of its current age. This discovery was made by peering approximately 13.5 billion years into the past. This makes us reconsider everything we previously believed. The size of galaxies is incredibly vast and contradicts 99% of the current models in cosmology. This indicates that there may be necessary to alter the models or completely re-evaluate the scientific understanding of how galaxies are formed. In any case, it is yet another startling discovery by James Webb. Every year, the Milky Way creates 1 to 2 new stars. For the duration of the universe, these galaxies would have to produce hundreds of new stars annually. These galaxies will test the limits of our knowledge of cosmology if even one of them is real. Even though all available evidence indicates that these celestial bodies are galaxies at this time, astronomers haven't ruled out the possibility that some of them may be enormous quasars or supermassive black holes. One of the study's authors and assistant professor of astronomy and astrophysics at Penn State, Joel Leah, stated, for example, stars in the early universe might emit light in exotic ways due to their lack of heavy elements, and perhaps we're not incorporating those in our models. Or alternatively, perhaps our understanding of how stars form locally, for example, how many stars form from gas as a function of the mass of the stars, is totally inapplicable in the early universe. These things would also be exciting to discover and overturn our understanding of star formation in the early universe, just in a very different way. However, the mass discovered indicates that the known mass of stars at this time in the history of our universe is up to 100 times greater than was previously believed to exist. This is a remarkable change, even if the sample size is half. The huge galaxies were not seen in earlier Hubble Space Telescope images of the early cosmos, but James Webb is approximately 100 times more powerful than Hubble. Since its launch, the Space Observatory has lived up to its promise of reading the oldest chapters of the universe's history in its tiniest glimmers of light. This is not the first time James Webb has made us rethink how we perceive the universe. It only discovered a groundbreaking revelation regarding the Big Bang theory last year. After this discovery by James Webb, cosmologists and astrophysicists remained with questions that needed to be addressed. How was the cosmos created if the Big Bang hadn't occurred? How did these galaxies, nebulas, stars, and planets form? Who is pulling on the universe's fabric? In the history of the universe, this is the most critical period. Let's pause to gather our thoughts before returning to the beginning to discover some potential justifications for the validity of the Big Bang theory. Case 1. The first James Webb results point to the formation of huge, bright galaxies in the first 250 million years following the Big Bang. Sears 93316, a galaxy emerged just 235 million years after the Big Bang, which is an undeniable fact. Their light took approximately 13.5 billion years to reach us because this galaxy is so far away. Numerous of these galaxies seem to be more massive than predicted by the most common cosmological models that explain the composition and evolution of the universe. The fact that smooth and aged galaxies have been discovered in such a short period of time after the Big Bang is concerning. The galaxy we see now couldn't have fully developed in the 250 million years following the Great Bang. Thus, it must have begun to form earlier. However, the Big Bang is where our universe began. So, the question is, did the Big Bang actually occur? Case 2. To emphasize the point that in an expanding universe, an optical illusion makes objects with a direct shift appear larger and dimmer so that their surface brightness declines sharply with redshift. Even the galaxies with greater luminosity and mass than our own Milky Way galaxy are 2 to 3 times smaller than these new galaxies. However, thousands of galaxies have been observed, and the surface brightness is constant with distance, as would be predicted in a universe that is not expanding. Additionally, subsequent observations demonstrated that there was no surface brightness dimming. With an expanding universe, this is definitely not what is expected. The furthest galaxies in the James Webb Telescope photos appear to have formed 400 to 500 million years after the Great Bang, as predicted by the Big Bang theory. Some of the galaxies have already revealed stellar populations that are more than 1 billion years old. The existence of these galaxies proves that the Big Bang did not actually happen because nothing could have happened before it. Let's simply suppose that the Big Bang did occur despite this and countless other reasons. There can't possibly be any galaxies older than the Big Bang itself. This implies that there would be fewer galaxies, and finally, none if we looked back in time further. According to a recent study, galaxies with a similar mass as the Milky Way are still prevalent even several 100 million years after the theoretical Big Bang. The latest Webb photos, according to the scientists, demonstrate that there are at least 100,000 times more galaxies than what theorists expected at redshifts greater than 10. So many massive galaxies cannot possibly be created in such a short period of time. So once more, no Big Bang. The search for our beginning's origin is only getting started. I hope the video will provide you with the most information possible. Please feel free to share your thoughts on this topic in the comment section. Remember to like, subscribe, and share this video with your friends.